oh please, watch this to the end. There's a lot of learning in here and a lot of things to think about on safety in kayaks, because today I learned the hard way. I started the day really well. I wanted to go out and make a lot of fun. I mean, here's how my day started. So today my plan is to go out and have a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to hopefully catch fish on 3 different methods and work out which one might be best. So I'm going to do soft bait, I'm going to do a lure, it's my ocean angler flea, and I'm going to do a coin drop, which is another ocean angler. Actually, most of these things are kind of ocean angler products. I don't really have any affiliation, but I do kind of like their stuff. And it was going fine. I mean, I even gave you a little update as things went on. Look at that. I mean, look how we're going so far. I gave you an update on how each rod was going and how each bait and each lure was doing. So it went on to this. Well, so far, the soft bait rod is coming second. The flea is coming first. It's caught lots of fish, but only teeny tiny little ones. I keep seeing pictures of fleas on like YouTube videos, and they've got like truckloads of kingfish and stuff. So I'm feeling a little misled, but that's alright. I'm not fishing somewhere where I'd expect to see large kingfish, so fair call. If I could get my kayak out somewhere really deep, maybe we'd tell a different story. But soft bait's the only keeper so far, but I put it back because basically I kind of let go of it and it slid over the side. Otherwise I would be keeping it. And 0 for the bender rod with the coin drop. Coin drop I think. So a lot of fun though, beautiful day. Behind me hopefully you can see Flat Island, which is off Beachlands where I live. The water conditions beautiful, and right now I got a little nibble on the bender rod, so hey, who knew? I'm gonna go concentrate on a bit of catching fish. Catch you soon. Then the harsh reality kicked in. Due to a whole bunch of different reasons and different things that all happened in a blur of a moment, I ended up in the drink. Okay, so here's a big lesson. Literally, I just fell out, and in 7 meters of water, I kind of did most things right. I stayed with my kayak, I was able to turn it back over, I had my paddle, I got on no problems. I've lost the rod, brand new rod. This is stupid. It's not stupid, the conditions are fine. All it was is I got some braid caught around the rudder. I turned around, got slightly side on. I had my paddle trying to unhook the braid at the back, and I completely went sideways. The rods were mostly okay. One of them I had a fish in the net. The net fish got off. I thought I'd lost 2 rods. I pulled the net up and I had the little flea caught in the net. I'd managed to hold on to the net and the little flea was there, so I just pulled the flea up and the rod was attached. So that could have been a pretty expensive lesson. I've never turtled out in the middle like that. That was completely my first time. I don't recommend it. It's ended up okay. Still got 2 rods. I'm safe. But I'm pretty tired. It's quite an interesting thing. The adrenaline kicks off. I really don't recommend it. So make sure you've got all the safety things and you'll have a way more enjoyable time. All I did today that I did wrong is I tried to get some braid untangled from around my rudder. I'd had a couple of fish on at once and it all just sort of ended in a bit of craziness. And so I tried to get it off. I leaned all the way back with my paddle and I was sort of holding things, and then I got a bit sideways. A wave just came out of nowhere. Not really, they've been there all day. But, and it just, boom, I went sideways. I was under, I lost the rod, brand new rod that I brought this morning. So in summary, I've put together a list of things that I did well that hopefully you will learn from. Look, here it is, it's my list. It's a list. Anyway, so what I did well, things that went well and kept me safe. Firstly, I knew what to do in this scenario. There's an amazing set of videos put out by Jason, who was attached to Paddle Guy, that's him. He put how to get out of your kayak things, and I watched those all on YouTube. I didn't actually practice them, but I knew what to do, but I probably should have practiced. That would have made things probably even better. So thank you, Jason Paddle Guy. You can find those on YouTube. I might link to those below. But find out what to do and make sure you can do it. But so I knew how to get back into my kayak, so thank you for that, Jason. If all else failed, if I couldn't get off, I absolutely had two forms of communication. I have a waterproof cell phone, so that was fine. I was able to contact someone if I needed to do that. But I also had my VHF on there, and I had it tuned in to channel 16, so if I was going to struggle or I got separated from my kayak, then I absolutely could have got help. My watch, that's not on at the moment because I just had a shower to warm up because it was a bit cold. My watch has GPS on it, so I can tell my coordinates, so if I'm in communication with the Coast Guard, I can absolutely tell them where I am if I'm in a position to do that. I do have a Coast Guard membership as well, so that's definitely something that as someone that goes out by myself often, it's very helpful for me to have that, but that's coming in the things I could do different list, so it's a good thing but not always a good thing. My third one, I'd logged my trip on the Coast Guard app, and my wife knew where I was and when I was due home, so I obviously, like tramping, tell someone your intentions, so I did that. And lastly, my equipment was all sorted. I had my life jacket, it was a really good setup. I was perfectly safe, I wasn't going to sink. I kept close to my kayak, although that could have been done differently. I didn't actually have a tether to it, I just happened to be holding the paddle, which was secured. I did have a paddle leash on. It's the one thing I always leash to my kayak. My kayak was a good kayak, it was fit for purpose. My reload is absolutely the perfect kayak to be on if in this situation. It was easy to get back over the correct way and easy to climb back up because it's got a low profile, so I felt very grateful that I had my reload. So that's some things I did, I think kept me alive today. That's the reality. But here's the dumb stuff I did. Look, dumb stuff I did. That's backwards, but I'll fix it. I was alone. It's not ideal, but where I fish, I often go out alone. It's not something that is too dangerous, and today's conditions weren't actually that bad. I've been out in worse, but I did go alone, and hopefully it would have been easier if I was with someone else. Definitely safer, but not something that I felt was a big issue. But obviously hindsight is 2020. But so that's one thing. I was alone. I didn't have a tether for me. I wasn't able to stay connected to my kayak if I had dropped the paddle or if I'd let go. So I would be floating by myself. In this instance it was fine, but I could have done that differently. And I was covered in lines and ropes. That's something that I had lots of things, like my rods were wrapped around me with braid and all sorts of stuff that made it a little tricky to climb back in. The drogue, the sea anchor was out behind me, but that had wrapped around the kayak, so that wasn't ideal. I had to unclip it and clip it back, and same with the tether for the paddle that was wrapped around the kayak, so I had to undo it when I was climbing back on and clip it somewhere else that made it work. So that was pretty rough. I did, however, have the presence of mind when I was climbing back on to take the sea anchor off, and I held it in the little metal loop and then reattached it and sent it out the back, which put the kayak straight with the waves, so it had a lot more surface area, which made it far more safe to get back on rather than still being side to the waves. So it's one of those things, you can't really plan what happens. I was pretty much stuck in the adrenaline of everything. Look, the reality is, be prepared, know what you're doing, watch the videos, practice out in the surf getting back onto your kayak. It's a really easy thing to do. Like, spend a day where you just play in your kayak in the surf if you're in a surf launch. I was in a pretty flat place, so that wasn't an issue, but just practice getting back up. Look, the worst thing about today is I lost a rod that I was pretty excited about, but hey, otherwise I'll just put it down to what a doofus.